Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Gallery Cabaret. Hello, everybody. I'm a tall girl, and I'm like, I need this thing taller and closer to me. And you know, it's been 100 years ago, today, that Wrigley Field was started. Wrigley Field. It's 100. It's 100 today. I'm like, oh my god. I think I was watching. I pay no attention to news, but I'm watching a Colbert Report. He's talking to somebody that was interviewing, and he's like, yeah, it was on April 23rd, 1914. I'm like, really? Like on my open mic, it's 100 years. Crazy. And I even have a picture of the ivy wall in my house because I had to have a picture of walls, and I needed my ivy wall up there. So. I'm like excited because it's like, hey, the weather's finally better, although where I am, it's like, no, it's going to be in the 30s tonight. I still can't put any plants out or anything. What is going on? And we're going to have a bunch of great readers, and I'm saying this, I'll do a little bit, for Mama Oroki Rice is our feature this evening because every scream of my name, you know, it's like, but I'm going to save it all. But I'm going to save that all screaming stuff for a little bit later on. One other thing I was thinking of doing, I know that I believe throughout the month of April was Bullying Awareness Month or something to that effect, and I would see things for it. And on May 1st, I posted out something about bullying walking home from school, and I thought, I have never read this before, so I just thought I'd share it with you because of the whole bullying theme. And this piece is called Joy. I wasn't a popular grade school kid. Things were thrown at me. I was knocked down once, so I knew kids could be cruel. But once I walked to a swing set at recess, and Joy sat there alone. She was teased because she was overweight. So I asked her why she was alone. And she turned her arm so I could see a 2-inch long bruise there. She then got up and started to speak and turned and lifted the back of her shirt. She said some kids started hitting her with the chains from the swing set. Then I saw her back. I could see how the foot-long bruises matched perfectly with the metal chains. I didn't know what to say. Those chains are for swings for children so they could play. This swing, this tool for joy, became a tool for unjust punishment. I've seen this abuse before. I've seen this happen to me. And like before, when the bullies were gone, there was nothing I could say. Welcome to life, right? So I figured I have to do something that resembles happier because, you know, that's just not right, is it? No, I don't think so. And so now I'm going to have to, it just closed up on me, which makes me very angry. And it's not showing it on the screen. That's awesome. I don't want that one. But I figured I had to come up, it's not, why is it not showing up? So I was going to, I'm going to, oh, there it is. It finally showed up. Sorry about this, you guys. That's what I get for having like, John, will you help me with this thing so it'll actually work? And so it sort of starts to work, and then what, right? But this is a much happier one, I swear. In a manner of speaking. This is a piece called, a bunch of little stories called For Mom. Once I was sitting in the living room, and I said, I need to wash my hands. So I walked upstairs, went over the kitchen sink. Mom, sitting in the living room, didn't mention that the sink was half full of raw squid for her dinner. I shriek. Mom laughs. Are there beady little eyes looking up at you? She said. The little devil. Every once in a while, Mom would play cards with us, but her poker face was just awful. She'd draw a card, one she evidently wanted, look down through her bifocals, then raise her eyebrows. "Oh, oh, 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 oh," she'd say. We all knew then that we should fold. She never wanted to sing. Mom always said she sounded just awful, and Dad even agreed. He'd make a humorous threat like, "Be careful, or I'll make Mom sing." But one thing that Mom was always musical at was yawning. I think she could hum a song while she yawned. Usually, though, she would just start her yawn with a high pitch and change it by key, 5 or 6 cents, or something. Sometimes we'd all be sitting there quiet, watching television, and then out would come one of Mom's original scores. Once, when I was in Florida, visiting Mom and Dad, I think it was a Sunday, Mom asked me, "What do you want for dinner on Tuesday?" And I thought, I don't know what I want for dinner tonight, or even if I want to eat, much less what I want to have for dinner 2 days from now. And I would think, you don't have to do all of these things for me. You don't have to worry about me this way. And I thought, there she goes again, making sure everything was perfect. She never liked to see her daughter cry. It would make her cry, too. "You go in there, you talk to her," she would say to another daughter. I remember once I cried and ran upstairs to my bedroom. I was laying on my bed in the dark. My sister tried to come in. I told her to leave me alone. Then my mother knocked, and I couldn't tell her to go away. She came in, sat on the bed, started crying. "You see, I always turn into such a mess. But it was nice to see you cry for me." Thank you. I'm going to end on something gushier and happier. I really did. But because when I think gushy and happy, you know what I think? I think Joffrey Stewart.
All right.
Are you ready, my love? Give it up for Joffrey. Come on up here, Joe. I couldn't leave it on something about like somebody doing things.
I'll read 3. The title of the first one is Hitler's Birthday, in 2 parts. 1. Hitler's birthday, always 3 days after my birthday, came the day before the British go boxing without boxing gloves in the 100th anniversary year for that first great war for Israel. The weather was good, as it was on Friday. No rain, sleet, snow, nor a 300-mile-an-hour tornado. From a different tradition than the political Hakenkreuz, Good Samaritans, as at Adams in Michigan, gave me water and sandwich as I passed out another letter to a man in jail, and other pieces having mostly to do with paying no taxes for war. Hare Krishna came by. We exchanged lit. Kiev Nazis pause in their Drang nach Osten. Where is David Duke? 2. In Rosemore, adjunct to Roseland, I ate leftovers from my birthday, and my great-great-nephew sincerely to me gave an Easter egg. I'll read one of the poems you find here. It's on the back, upside down, and about along that line. I use one word that's not in the dictionary, acratic. It's used in Spanish, Catalan, Portuguese, maybe Italian. It's the Greek negative a put together with kratos, the Greek for strength of rules, and this is sort of a synonym for anarchism or so forth. I use it as an adjective here, acratic. The title is Extrapolating Freedom from a quote by Ella Baker. The quote was used in the Good Friday March of the Eighth Day Center for Justice as a theme for them. Quote, and I begin, quote, "We who believe in freedom cannot rest till we wrest the state from active consciousness and lower every rag flagging sovereignty into acratic grave pits for authority." And this one. Title, overview taken before that next NATO wrecking surge in that third great war for Israel. On Holy Thursday, 1963, I was almost lynched outside Morton East High School. Just me, the other peace walkers, all traipsing from Downers Grove, were white. The next day was Good Friday. I was alive. No thanks to the science by which Israel got the atomic bomb in 1963. Protesters, 4 years late, were just waking up to Vietnam. Tour has passed. Brad Little yet was not to pass in political science. The CIA kicked him out that division, University of Chicago. Brad failing to understand that politics is for war, not peace. And Erica, before she passed me up. 4 or 5 years later, at seeing me on a Pentagon parking lot, not happy that I apply nonviolence to Israel. Except for Kay, I don't know where the others have passed in this 100th year for that first great war for Israel, arriving with a birthday, Holy Thursday. My father, like Hitler, saw both of them and didn't live either to grasp my understanding or brush it off. That third great war began May 15, 1948, Same year, Israel beginning work on atomic bomb. It's not about high-teching war. It's about Zionizing it. As it surges in Iraq, Afghanistan, and now Syria, a product of the First Great War for Israel, its perimeters delineated by borders imposed by Israel, expanding its borders, while airstrikes within the borders of Syria give aid and comfort to Al-Qaeda elements striking from within. In that nation-wrecking game for which you'll never become aware without some conspiracy frame for reference.
Every time I come up here, I've got like all that stuff and I can't applaud properly. I'm like, hi, like idiot applauding. Hi, thank you very much. And before I call up an extra maker with Len, I will have to tell it again, cc&d magazine, which the issue just came out at the beginning of the month. Shot out of a cannon. This is the title for it. I think it's a really cool cover with a photo of the warriors in China and this display from forever ago by Eric Bonholzer. I wish I could have seen this. It's really cool. Anyway, but because I've been trying to figure out technology, I'm going to put some of the poems on this because it's brighter and I just wanted to be goofy that way. So I wanted to do 2 poems from cc&d. I'll hold this so you can see it, the magazine. This is a short one by Dan Fitzgerald and it's called Not Getting Better. Tired of lighting candles. Think I will sit in the dark for a while, cursing. Dan Fitzgerald. Sorry, the other one I wanted to give you, I really enjoyed the idea of doing this one. Drew and Nashi. Drew, this is your poem. This is called I Can't Wait to Get to Work. I can't wait to get to work so I can put to use all of that after-hour stress anticipating the next workday. I can't wait to get to work so I can sit in a chair under fluorescent lamps for 8 hours. I can't wait to get to work so I can sublimate my true desires and spend another day on God's earth doing something I genuinely have no interest in doing. I can't wait to go to work, to see people I don't really care for more than I see my kids. I can't wait to get to work, so at lunchtime I can check the internet and lose myself on the exploits of real achievers who have earned the public spotlight. I can't wait to get to work to play the mental rationalization game with adult phrases like, life is a trade-off. You do what you have to do. No one said it would be easy. Everyone is in the same boat. Or you have to appreciate what you have. I can't wait to get to work, so I am one day closer to earning enough money to retire. Very nice. Thank you. Enough of my magazine. Len, get it up here. Give it up for Len. Hello. He deals with books all night and then he deals with poems like us at night. No.
Do 3 pieces that have been inspired by a friend of mine out in Virginia, a poet named Mary Carol Hackett. And you already know this, we pay attention to what people say and we make notes on what people tell us and stuff like this. And eventually turn them into poems, which is where these come from.
Try to get your, do you need, I noticed a problem with the mic. Do you need to get the mic so it's closer to your head?
Oh.
Yeah. Figure out how to, I think it was too low for me. But I know it was too low. I know, well, lean a lot.
Yeah, lean a lot.
Lean a lot.
How's that?
Lovely.
Did it work better?
Awesome.
Okay. Anyway, she's responsible for things that she said for these 3 poems. First one is called Sur le Pont d'Avignon, which is the old children's song about dancing on the bridge in France. We danced under parking lot lights. It seemed the place, it seemed the moment to hold each other in a 2-step, to whisper as our lips brushed of our love. This is how we lived. Dancing without invitation or warning at a local food store grand opening. It's what we felt like. You wore a poodle skirt, peasant blouse, Mary Jane's. I wore Bermudas, t-shirt, boat shoes. We wore our love like nightlights on our sleeves. This is how we lived. People smiled, people clapped. Some seemed embarrassed. Nobody joined in. Brief weeks later, you were gone. It's never not the place, not the moment. Okay, shelter. 1. She dreams about her husband in some deep night place where golden memories must take her. Might sadden, but can't really hurt. They live in the dream and pioneer style. Simple house, animals and children mixing in the yard, crops sufficient to their needs, and so much love, struggles are eclipsed. He sings to her now, in death as in life. At every opportunity, his voice echoes. Even friends who don't believe in heaven would testify that's where his voice comes from. 2. Their man-child wanders the house, minstrel singing his own doggerel in the French she taught while sitting at the kitchen table, paring potatoes, cutting garden-picked tomatoes, chopping lettuce from the next row of turned earth over. The garden she tends still grows. The harvest won't be done for years, long after she leaves this place to grandchildren not yet fully conceived. She sees her husband in their son, sees the future she now shapes alone, and thinks the world might be saved. 3. Spring is here. Red wings sing new dawns. The April sun takes the snow away, softens the aches in early 50s bones. Time to do a little cleaning in the car. Tucked between the seats, not yet faded with too many years, a simple note that takes her by surprise and makes her entire being smile. Mary, I'd go through all the shit again if it still led me to you. She reads it twice, holds it close before the first tear falls. And the third one. This was actually a prompt that one of Mary's college students put out for National Poetry Month. Blank is my favorite shape, and I just had to color outside the lines a little bit. The shapes of you. The line of light that is your hand reaching for mine is not my favorite shape, any more than the curve of your breath as it lifts and lowers your breasts. The gentle raindrops of your words describing your day in the evening. The folds of thinking of you in all the corners of my heart. Each and more, part and parcel, shapes inseparable from the whole. I didn't finish with anything real cheerful.
Well, look, we're claimed to be poets, so that's probably not what we're supposed to be going on,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Or something. I didn't know. I have to read something before I call up. Damn. Because I keep talking about cc&d magazine, but the coolest, I really like how this cover looks. Down in the Dirt magazine is another magazine that we published. It used to be a subsection of cc&d, and it started in 2000. And I really like this cover. Because when they went around in Chicago and there was half Buddha heads everywhere. So, Am I Really Extinct is actually the name of a poem by David Hernandez, who is out west somewhere. I don't remember what state he's from, but I'm not going to read that poem from him because there's a few of his. I just want to explain that was the name of it. But the poem I wanted to read from him was another happy one because we seem to be on the happy themes, don't we, all those poets. This is disregarding a writer's innocence. Flattened meat of a rabbit stains the road near my rented cabin. Its blood smears a streak while its rib cage splits apart. Flesh and inner organs smashed into mush spread across its dismembered body. The sun decays the corpse and flies ridded of its stench. And the drivers continue to spread what remains further down the street. Title of this one. I think that Shot Out of a Cannon might be a piece from him as well in cc&d because he's like, I just want to send you tons of stuff. So, and if you wanted to have stuff in here, you could always bug me. And in fact, I might get one of our open micers, Mr. Bill Yarrow, to read some things that appear in this issue because he's all over in cc&d in 2014. But in the meantime, Dan, come on up here, my darling, get up for Dan.
My name is Dan Weinberg, by the way.
I'm sorry I didn't say your last name. I
No,
haven't been saying last names. I didn't say Len's last name. Sorry. Does anybody want me to say their last names? Hi, Dad.
Okay. Hamburger. I'm sitting on top of the world, writing a McDonald's commercial, waiting for God to approve my copy. World peace, no domestic violence, no more shootings, no more unfair discrimination, no more hotel prisons. What are you smoking? What am I smoking? Eat this hamburger. Feel the love. Kiss your neighbors in Russia. Feel brotherhood. What is happening? Is this real? I feel like shopping. Can I spend some money? Can I get a witness? I feel like capitalism this evening. Can I buy you something like a smile or a squeeze? Can this make world peace? Oh, you peaceniks are all chicken shit. Love a bomb when you still can. Love the smell of burning children and destruction. Love it all. Do you have a favorite drone? I do. Do you have a favorite bullet? I do. I am a gun. Pull my trigger for peace. Buy my hamburger and receive bliss on earth. Your smile will light up the dark in this place. Your blood will be redder and your eyes will see the injustice clearer with this hamburger. With this delish hamburger, God will be in your life. You will be 100% American. You won't be ugly or skinny anymore. Your teeth will be sparkling white. Your breath will be springtime fresh. Just eat this fucking hamburger. You'll be part of the in crowd too. You'll have world peace. If only you eat this goddamn hamburger. Thank you. Dream. Dreams take me to Timbuktu and back to Chicago, but all my eyes do is stay closed too. Dreams are big ideas. They fly up high and touch the sky and come back again. Dreams are green and blue and black and blue and big as a house and small as a mouse. Dreams can be as big as a hotel, or as small as a smell, or as big as a sky, and I don't know why. Dreams can slither like a snake, or jog like a mouse, or be still as a house, or be as sweet as a cake. Dreams can move like a ballet dancer, or be a romancer, or jump a rope, or be a dope. Dreams can stink, or they can wink, or be lame, or be really, really tame. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm going to have to do that one more time to do it proper. Give it up one more time for Dad Weinberg! Sorry, had to get the last thing. And out of my pocket here, I had to get this handy dandy bag. It's not for my drugs. Sorry. And yes, the next open record that's coming up at Burl Yarrow is not going to be like able to avoid this, but you put your life savings in this, and I'm going to troll this around a few times. What do I have? Put in everything you possibly can for a phenomenal feature from Oroki Rice this evening. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I am going to troll this around. I am. But in the meantime, please give it up for Bill Yarrow. I still listening. Bill Yarrow,
This poem is called Chaos Unveiled. The moonlight news is brutal. Compassion has been voted down. Human decency has been vandalized. The hewn stones have started to float. The siblings of the siblings will never be born. The last of Che Guevara is being eaten by rats. A meager third of the century will be devoted to love. The last piece of pie will remain the last piece of pie. The green heart of the red planet will stay transcendently dark. A man with sighs for eyes sits under a yew tree. He watches acorn after acorn fall into sodden leaves. The future, he tells himself, is no victor. The past advances on the instability of the present. He bows his neck to the pagan razor of displacement. This poem is called Ribs. Man reached into the carcass of the Lord and tore Satan from the rib of God. The mountains of humility went silent. The rain of regency dried its eyes, and the clouds of unknowing began to know. Snow, masquerading as kindness, ballooned into bombast as the world washed its hands of worldliness. Then indifference, stiff as a wombat penis, stirred and woke from the dream of cascading penury. I am imbricated by the slabs of dead ideas. I am teased by vaults of no gold. Ghosts hold me to votes I disavow. There is a formidable hole in the latent sky. It takes all my strength not to worship it. And I'll read the two poems that are in the current edition of cc&d. This is called A Piece of Him. It has an epigraph from Hamlet. Bernardo says in Hamlet, "What, is Horatio here?" And Horatio says, "A piece of him." People who lose a leg to battle or disease often describe the feeling of having a phantom appendage, experiencing the sensation of still feeling the absent limb. When I lost you, I lost a piece of myself. I haven't felt whole since that day. It's not that I can't go on. I can. It's not that I can't think straight. I can. It's not that I can't focus. I can. It's that the future is now incomplete. It's that with your radical vanishing, the dignity of infinity is diminished.
If you need the other one, I can pull out from cc&d.
And this poem also in cc&d is called Before the Door. You just can't believe your key won't open the front door anymore. Determined to prove reality wrong, you board a flight for Budapest and walk wet streets in search of a keyhole you're convinced exists. And when you find it on the side door of the Nikolai Bakery, your wry heart, wrapped with vindication, laughs heartily. The key works. It really works. But you don't enter. You don't dare. Time passes. The seasons alter. The world gives birth to triplets. People drop hot pennies into your hat. Thank you.
As Joffrey usually laughs at this, I haven't said this in my usual message because they've been talking recently about how the NSA won't be spying on you as much, blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to let you know that we are spying on you, and that is why I'm video recording this open mic. Dun, 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 so that all of the things that you reveal to us will be put on for a YouTube video and will be possibly a weekly video podcast after, of course, this phenomenal feature. So if you want to know anything about that, you can always find the info about it at www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe. We have a new beat. I like being all hypey and crazy, and especially because I have to say last names.
You don't have to.
Well, it's Andrea. Oh, it says Fein. I thought at first it fair. And I was going to say, I'm not quite sure how much is fair about this lady, although she does seem pretty awesome for what this is so far. So, please, ladies and gentlemen, scream until you crazy all around this. I'm just gonna go. Oh, sorry.
Well, first, I really think I need to apologize. I mean, the words flow so beautifully from all of you, and I'm enjoying this. I really just came to support, and I have written a few poems, and I didn't even think to bring them because I just came to enjoy. But this is a short poem that I will share with you.
I know this thing is crazy. I'm trying to make this work because I don't know how to be able to tilt this thing.
I don't either. I should know how.
I mean, you would think.
So, truth be told, I am a storyteller, and that's what I do. And in telling stories, sometimes I use intertwined poems with my stories. So tonight, I'll just give you a brief. I stand in awe of storytellers. I stand in awe of storytellers. I listen and I've traveled to many places. Some I haven't seen as yet. Witness glorious sunrises, and golden sunsets. I stand in awe of storytellers. That day began like any other day. We were out in the fields playing, and out of nowhere they came, beating us and dragging us and kicking us. They placed us in the bottom of a huge ship, one by one, by one, by one. And I never ever saw my mother, my brother, my father, or my sister again. I stand in awe of storytellers. I was there when Bro Rabbit went running down that road. I saw the princess kiss the toad, ran from that purple giant with his long snotty nose. I stand in awe of storytellers. She whispered in her lover's ear. I felt his breath upon her neck, his fingers caressing gently. I stand in awe of storytellers, for they break down racial barriers, sing love songs, comfort those in pain, bring fairy tales alive, make fairy tales come alive, bury the living, and sometimes bring the dead back to life. I stand in awe of storytellers, and for you great people out there, there is power in the spoken word. There is power in the spoken word.
And the sad thing was I wasn't able to be applauding like a crazy like, one more time, right there.
Really good, really good.
Well, I have a last minute open mic from Andrea Fein. No, I'm not going to say fine time for. So before I read something, I'm going to tell you that I laughed because I was like, oh, I'm going to grab one of these coasters because we've got friends on the East Coast and we have coasters that are actually postcards and we'd send it. And I'm like, oh, I can send a postcard, I should grab it. Hey, this says, contents under pressure on it in huge letters, and I happen to laugh because that's my last major poetry book that I published. That was its title, Contents Under Pressure, which I thought was really funny. Which is appropriate that I'm finally going to be doing another poetry book by June called Partial Nudity. But I was going to do this one. I'm pulling this off from memory, and it's good that I'm going to be like nestled in amongst women while I do this one. Let's hope I can pull this one off. Remember, this is called Keeping a Record of Going Too Far. Yeah, get ready for your women's issues once. When he met me, he told me I looked like Gwyneth Paltrow. Long blonde locks. But as time wore on, I knew I wasn't her, and I could never be her, and I was never thin enough, pretty enough, or good enough. So I decided to change things up. I colored my hair, I straightened my hair, I bought the Wonder Bra, but that wasn't doing the trick. So I decided, you know, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to soak myself in mud, wrap myself in cellophane, buy the amino acid facial creams. I even injected botulism into my face every 3 months. But I knew all those tricks were only temporary. So I decided that I would drink Slim Fast, and I'd use a stair stepper, and I ate rice cakes and wheat germ. But I wasn't thin enough. I only dropped 20 pounds. So I went to the doctor and got my nose slimmed, my tummy stapled, my thighs sucked. Thought about getting a rib or two removed, you know, like Cher. But I figured my ribs, they've got to be there for something. And hey, that's just going too far. But the thing is, the more I was thinking about it, I'm thinking, what am I doing all of these things for? For what? for men? So that men will think I look good? I mean, is this supposed to make me happy? I mean, why am I going too far when half the men out there are rapists or oppressors? I'm more than just a plaything. This woman's got a mind, and I've spent too many hours stuffing handwritten notes into my pockets or typing long hours into the night. Yeah, I've spent all that time slamming my fingers, my hands into that keyboard because there were too many atrocities in the world, too many injustices that I had witnessed, too many people who had wronged me, and I had a lot of work to do. There had to be a record of what you had done. Did you think your crimes would go unpunished? I mean, yeah, I have defiled many pages in your honor, you who swung your battle axe high. Yeah, I have defiled many pages. And have you defiled many women? You, the man who rapes my friends? You, the man who rapes my sisters? You, the man who rapes me? Is that what makes you a strong man? You want to know why I do the things I do? I need to record these things. That is what kept me together. When my friends are being carried off to war, that is what kept me together. When women were being raped and left for dead, that is what kept me together. And when no one bothered to notice this, or change this, or care about this, these writings kept me together. I need to record these things to remind myself of where I came from. I need to record these things to remind myself that there are things to value and things to hate. I need to record these things to remind myself that there are things worth fighting for, worth dying for. I need to record these things to remind myself that I am alive.
Yeah.
Thank you. I see somebody looking at a list, and you can be up for it, my darling. Oh, I'll get on up there. But I believe, is there a Robin that is ready for, I see her waving, so give it up for the Fine Time Later. So get up for Robin Fine. Yeah, I gotta get my last name clear. Robin Fine. And you want me after you, my darling. Yeah. I have no idea of heights or anything. Get on up, my darling. I'll go this way.
Hi everybody. Hey Robin. I'm going to plug a few things first. Are you okay? Please be careful. Beginning of May becomes my birthday week, which means I will be featuring on Monday, Jax, God bless you. Wednesday night I'm featuring here with Oz, who is amazing. And Friday night I'm featuring at Love Letters. Also, I'm in Beast Woman, so there's lots of really fun stuff coming up. What I want to do is something, since this is a safe space, it's a poem I'm kind of working on it. Mr. Bill, I'm going to ask you to listen to it especially. Put on your teacher hat. I'm going to do one that Oz and I had done, and it's because of Oz that I'm now an international published poet. Yeah. So, this doesn't have a title, so just please bear with me because I'm playing with it all over the place. You tell me to believe, to have faith in God, have faith in my womanhood. I don't even know what that means. God made woman from Adam's rib, painted her the color of ocean and earth, a masterpiece of perfect imperfection. Then I think he went on vacation. You tell me to love. You tell me you love me. I watch your face for the glimpse of my smile, a reflection. Change it. A reflection. Oh God, I just changed it today. A reflection of uncertainty stares back with a cloudy smirk. I don't believe you. I wonder if there is real hunger in your fingertips as you trace my story along the folds and curves of my body. Sometimes your voice tastes like holy water. I want to drink in every blessing. Sometimes your words fall like broken glass from mouth to skin. There are calluses on my palms from wiping clean the stains of indifference. I'm looking for the resurrection in the margins of your arms, but I've misplaced your promise. Stuffed into my pocket, things are less real when they stop seeing the light. I miss the moon. I miss the carnal dance between shadow and shape. I long for the melody ripped to current. Sometimes my wings are bent. I fly and fall in unequal parts. Sometimes I don't know where the sky is. I look down at the clouds tangled inside my ankles. But there is something intimate about shredded bone and tissue, about molded misshapen body parts into something different. What if I could unzip my skin, map the geography of each invisible scar, peel away each layer of heart, and scoop out the origins of me? This is where the blueprints of my body lie. I want to be an ocean split open, the tide to wash clean all the bloody parts. I want to climb inside each eyelid to taste the salt on my lips, lick clean any condensation of sadness. If I could only gather up the whole of me back through my ankles, maybe then. So you tell me you love me. Tell me to believe, tell me to have faith, and I wonder, if woman was born of God, and God made man from Eve's, that's me. And God made man from Eve's rib, or breast, or belly, what would Adam have to say about that?
Like the clouds in the ankle.
And all of you guys,
Clouds in the ankle.
all you poets, I want your opinion afterwards. So to pretend to workshop it. Okay. I wanted to do this one in honor of Oz because he and I are going to be featuring in 2 weeks.
2 weeks!
And I love him to pieces. He's an amazing
The first double
person.
feature we've got here. It's awesome, awesome,
He's
awesome.
absolutely amazing. He's an author, he's a poet, he's a musician. He writes nonfiction and fiction books. And we've been going back and forth with poetry, and he, unbeknownst to me, he took one of our poems and sent it off to a European journal called Dreamcatcher, and they accepted it. So I wanted, this is something that I just printed out, and I thought this would be really cool. And of course it's done with an English accent. You know how we say learned? I learned. I've learned not to breathe, to draw in rose and lavender without choking, to not break the silence, balance between night and day. But I need you. I need you to teach me how to exhale, to float along the cloud's edge, moonlit and shadowed without falling. And I need you to teach me how to laugh again, to wrap myself up in mourning, fingerprinting frost flowers on the window to a world I haven't seen it in so long. What happened to the little girl with all the light and promise and play, who loved to play hide and seek, who loved to run with the wild things, who loved to chase the sun from the evening sky? The little girl who loved, and I'm lost. Scared down the rabbit hole, caught in the web of dead roots. I cannot find my way out, so I've learned not to breathe. Learned the art of not dying at daybreak, but not living either. So I need you to teach me to welcome the day where broken dawn no longer calls, to turn my face to a sun I know must still be there, to breathe songs into frozen birds that hang still mid-flight on a sky that has forgotten blue. And I need you to teach me to swim through ice clouds, to stretch arms and legs and lungs in the slow motion of my true self, the fearless dreamer at the heart of this labyrinth, the eye of the pearl. I need you. This is the last one I'm going to do. This is based as, a lot of times we like to do things where we work with each other people, and I love the art of dance. And some of the people in Beast Woman are very much into burlesque and belly dancing and modern dancing and ballet. And I had the opportunity when I was performing with them last year, watching all the belly dancers, and this poem actually came from that. So And this is actually called Bronze Dove. Bronze Dove lies along sunset in syncopation with the moon. She is Cleopatra incarnate. With the curve of her hand, she will tell you a story of Maharaja knights and painted veils. She is the dream behind eyelids, translucent fantasy. Her hips offer no protestation. She will draw you in with the rhythm of her skin, quench her thirst on your desire. There's God in the melody of her fingertips. A carnal dance between shadow and shape, each footprint etched in sand. A dream's lost taste of desert heat, sandpaper rough. There is God in the rhyme of her body. Liquid gold courses through veins of imagination. Each thrust of her hip pulls out to a Bedouin's drum. There is God in the sway of her breast. She will paint you a universe of longing and desire in shades of rubies and emeralds. All you need is a glimpse to breathe in her beauty. She is your Persian princess, if only for pretend. Pray. Pray hard for a taste before shadow and shape fade into mist.
Thank you.
Don't forget all of the people that I'm Facebooking friends with. My birthday week, I'm going to be performing because this is what I like to do, and my birthday's May 10th. So you've got 3 choices. Come out and share some poems with me. That would be the greatest birthday gift of all, is for people to just come out and share their poems.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear Nick. I believe we've got somebody whom even Robin says is really, really awesome.
Awesome. Cheryl, get on up here, my darling. I know this man has music set up, so get on up here.
You say that there's a cable and you have to worry about stuff.
Well, there may or may not be. If there's not, I'll do it a cappella.
And I can read some crappy haikus, if
Okay.
necessary. And actually, it's quite appropriate because I brought my beer glass because I think this is the most awesome thing because you can have this ledge for putting your beer. And I thought, am I the only one that does that? And I found it over by the piano with the coaster on it. And I'm like, apparently I'm not. So that's what it's for. That's what this column is for. And might as well have 2 drink-related ones. This one's scorches. Take the final swig. It burns its way down your throat. It scorches your tongue. Well, I can always do this one, this last. But I have to drink more. The burning doesn't last as long as you do.
There's no chord, so I'm going to have to do it without.
So then I don't have to do any more haikus, and I don't have any more drinking-related haikus.
So Cheryl's get on up here, my darling, and get up.
What's your name?
Charles.
Okay.
I last longer than the burning too. I'd like to think. So yeah, I'm actually a hip hop artist, but I started kind of in the poetry slam world by going to Green Mill and places like that. So you know, I have experience in both, you know, poetry slamming and hip hop venues. But I'm gonna do actually some hip hop tracks, just a cappella. And I know a lot of you guys are actually poets, and I know you guys love writing. So I'm gonna start with something that I wrote about writing. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna have this playing. You won't be able to hear it, but just so I can keep on my own rhythm. Oh,
yeah.
you can hear it.
Yes, you can.
Oh my God, the miracle of Apple. Okay.
Go.
I got it. Okay. So this is called writer statement. All right. When my hand undulates, moving the pen like a snake, leaving slithering contours of life in its wake, I feel a smooth rush from my fingers to my brain. It's a sign saying I'm in control of my terrain, responsible for the fine lines of cursed script moving and twisting out of my spirit in feverish fits. And because my foliage can grow in every which way, I've got to clip and cut the excess for better display. I want to raise a glorious garden that is untouchable, bury the naked ground in my heart till it grows full. And when the people see the color of my love and stress, it'll plant a seed in them, propagating my finesse. Cause I'm a writer, a cultivator of immortality, spilling blood through the ink. Cause inside I'm always battling, working towards defeating what's eating at me the most, illustrating my chaos to create cosmos. No, that was only part one.
It was still on.
That was only part one. I'm gonna kick part two of this shit. It always seems to happen in the middle of my room, my original environment, the perfect place to bloom. Any idea I receive could be a seed, just being able to breathe is enough for me to feed the paper with the kernels of my core. More and more I see my soil is the paper, not the clutter on the floor. And every day I make sprouts, few live to budding states, those that do will form and adapt to make their way. Climbing through your trellis even before they embellish. My product is water with knowledge for vegetative growth, strong and healthy poems with reading and preparation, mind in the sunshine and properly exposed. My words are fully blossomed now with color and zeal. Are there any other writers here that feel how I feel? Cause when my hand undulates, moving the pen like a snake, leaving slithering contours of life in its wake, I feel a smooth rush from my fingers to my brain. It's a sign saying I'm in control. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. And I don't know how many other folks have seen me perform besides Robin, but one of my other talents is that I can also freestyle. I'm pretty good at it, but I like to get the audience involved. So what I'd like from you all is just 3 words for subject matter. Just 3.
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish, okay.
I thought it
Books.
School.
Jellyfish, books, and school. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Jellyfish, books, and school. Okay. The 45 pages none of you could have missed was within the book that was talking about jellyfish. But you found it in the school and you didn't understand, so the library took it back with big hands. Snatched it right back saying you couldn't read this, you were illiterate, you son of a bitch, so just quit. You said I don't want to quit because I love the style of the sting of the jellyfish, it's my thing. Like cc&d when dropping the funky doo-doo. Who are you to say that I'm illiterate? Who are you? You have no identity against me. I am a jellyfish, so I am gonna sting thee. Going into school, you want to treat me like a fool, but hey, I play it cool cause I'm watching you drool over other kids who want to really learn, but you always make their styles burn. So I bring it back, resurrect like Phoenix, take it all the way to the surface of Venus, and then on to Mars and Saturn and Jupiter, where jellyfish float in gravity looking stupider. What can I say? We go deep underwater, rocking the beats because the style is out of order. Take it back to the Neptunian school, telling these fools that I really want to get more cordial with some of these cats who want to be fishes, but they ain't got no jelly cause some of these cats are bitches. They have no life, they have no spine, just like a jellyfish, so I guess they won't be fine. They will just sink down into the depths of the ocean with no emotion. Meanwhile I'm coasting, stinging everybody from here to Japan, cause that's my big jellyfish plan, expand. So many jellyfish, what about a peanut butter fish? Put it together, make a jellyfish sandwich. Activate the funk, let these punks know that I'm ready to glow and then grow and grow like beanstalks from Jack. Gotta have the fish on the top of my act, because it's all jelly. I get all jelly in the knees, but that's okay, I'm still able to please. Rocking over to the oceans and seas, because nobody could step to me. This is Charles West. Jellyfish, schools, and other stuff. Alright. I think I'm gonna call it a night on that one.
Carl, you have something about in one ear.
What's up?
Something about in one ear.
Oh yeah, at about 10 o'clock tonight up in Rogers Park, up on 7000 North Glenwood, Heartland Cafe has an open mic called In One Ear. It's hosted by Pete Wolf-Winninger and Billy Tuggle, both who are very skilled poets. And whatever talent you bring, in your case poetry, most of you guys, you can bring it to the cafe. You can do poems, you can do comedy, you can do rap, you can sing, you can juggle, you can do just about anything you want. And trust me, we get a lot of talent over there. Let's
Billy
see.
Tuggle, you get a lot of talent.
Billy Tuggle, J.W. Basilo used to do a lot of his poetry there when he was first starting out. Hannibal Buress, the comedian, did a lot of open mic stuff before he became famous. And I go there now just before I become famous, because I know I'm going to become famous. So yeah, you should all check it out. Again, 10 o'clock, it goes till like midnight or maybe half past midnight, but it's a lot of fun, trust me. Thank you very much.
Freestyle. You know, I was like, think of a word. What? And I'm like, nobody's saying anything. Well, I'm publishing 2 issues and they happen to have jellyfish on the cover. So I'll just say jellyfish. And that was awesome. That was totally cool. And you actually incorporated it into things. I have to ask, because we have 40 minutes for a feature now. I haven't asked this vivacious feature of ours if she wanted more than her usual 20, which I'm sure she would, but I wanted to give anybody one heads up. Does anybody want to come up and read something? I can't hear. I can't see anything, because I got all these lights on my face, so I can't see, and nobody's doing anything. So fine, be that way. I'm going to sit around and troll like a big freaking idiot, because some people might have missed out on giving your life savings to this woman. I mean, even change would work. You know, my husband, he comes back from a trip from out of town, he's like, by the way, this is my pocket change. And he told like, there was like $4 in quarters and $2 in dimes and pennies, and I'm like, can I tip somebody in pennies? And there was just so much money there. Like, so I guess I can't really complain about change, because it can pay for buses and the like, and parking meters, because that's what we've got around here. So everybody, you got 5 minutes? 5 minutes. I want you to keep Tressa extra super busy, because this is a great night, and we're gonna have a phenomenal feature from Oroki Rice and Joseph.